What's up, everybody? We're gonna play through a few rounds of Tend, just so you can kind of get a sense of how the turns go, and in combination with the how to play video, you're gonna be set up really well to be successful when playing Tend. So Tend is a flip and write game for 1 to 6+ players, and we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about what's going on. In Tend, each turn you're gonna be taking 2 tasks, all right? Each task, at the beginning of the game, you get 1 action in. So there's 4 tasks: tending, fishing, mining, and chopping. When you take one of those tasks, you get to do 1 action of those things. There's ways you can get more actions via energy bars and upgrading your equipment. But in the current state, I just have 1 action for all of these tasks. Each round, there's gonna be 5 task cards that come up. There are real cards. I'm just showing you digital versions because there's only so many cameras and so much room. But yeah, 5 are gonna come up every round and you're gonna choose 2 of them. They might be the same task, they might be different tasks. We're trying to get Zenith points. That's the point of the game. The main ways we get Zenith points are loading things into our cargo manifest with these fun little stamper markers. There's other ways you can get badges, which give you victory points. You can get neighbor rewards. Those can give you victory points. And also there are victory points that are given to you on the season objectives. You can learn more about those in the how to play video, but we're gonna get into some turns. So these are the 5 cards that I have to work with this round. We're gonna start with the name of the game. We're gonna start with this card that has the Tend action on it. So I've got 2 options up there at the top. You can always do anything in the top of a card. Then there is sometimes a conditional on the card. If you meet that conditional, you get the bottom reward or bonus. But we're gonna start with the Tend task. So when you take a Tend task, you get to choose one of 3 actions. So you can plant a crop, which is what we're gonna do, spoilers. You can tick up a crop and any adjacent crop, it's watering your crops. And then you can till. So in order to plant a crop, you must till your soil. We start the game with 6 tilled soil. I've actually already tilled a little bit of my soil on a previous turn, but we still have our kind of starting area. And so what we're gonna do is we are gonna plant a pineapple. Crops come in on their 1 face, and then at the start of every turn, we're gonna tick that up. When we tick it up, we will harvest the plant. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole task. We did it. We used our 1 tending action during the task, and we planted a pineapple. Now, it's time to look at this card. We have a condition on this card. If I have 2+ chopping levels, I will get that wool. That's a byproduct of the sheep in the game. I will get that wool for free. So this is great news. I actually am level 2 in chopping. I got that on a previous turn. And we'll go over those levels here in a second, but you're just gonna have to trust me for the time being. I get that wool good. So what do we do with it? What do we do with resources in Tend? Well, resources in Tend you must use right away. You don't store them. You essentially get a resource and then you have to decide what you want to do with it right then. So the best place to look is on your corporate commissary. So basically just look for the icon. All the resources in the game are on here. So I found it. It is right there. I can either sell this for 2 coins and then use those 2 coins elsewhere, or I can load it into my cargo manifest. You know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna load it into my cargo manifest. So it is this shape and this color. That's the thing we need to look at. So I'm gonna grab my marker here. I'm going to pull out the green one. This is for all the farming goods, and I'm gonna load it into my cargo manifest. A couple rules about the cargo manifest when you load them in here. First of all, there's some scoring rules. Everything you put in your cargo manifest is worth 1 point. But every sheet is a little bit different and has some modifiers to that. So for me, in this middle row, every green good, every farming good I put in this middle row is worth 2 points instead of 1. Any good I put that is green in this left side, I don't score any points for that, so I don't want to put it over there. And then any purple goods over here don't score points. But I want the double points, so I'm going to put it right here. And I can rotate that, flip it any way I want, and I'm going to put it right there. The other thing we need to keep in mind when we're loading stuff into our cargo manifest is you can't have 2 alike goods touching each other. So I'm okay there, but next time I put something green in there, I gotta put it somewhere else, not next to that one. Great, 1 task down. 1 task card down. Moving on to our next. We're gonna go mining. I think it's time to go mining. So I'm just gonna use, this is one of the starter cards. There's just one option on it. There's no condition on it. How do we mine? Well, we're going to this scratch off card. So every time you take the mining task, you get one mining action. You can use your mining action to scratch off one space in the top of the mines. The bottom of the mines requires 2 actions. I don't have 2 actions, I only have 1 action. How might I get multiple actions, you might ask? Well, I could work on these upgrades. Each upgrade will give you +1 action in its associated task. Or I could work on some energy bars. Once I pay the cost, they're three coins, I can spend my energy bar to gain more actions. But for now, I just have 1, so we are gonna go in the mines. I can either start at the top, or I can go adjacent to a place that I've already uncovered. We're gonna start at the top and just kind of see what we get here. Let's see what we get. All right, not too bad. I got this copper resource. So just like we did before, I'm gonna look up at my corporate commissary and see that I could put it in my cargo manifest for 1 yellow square, not that great, or I could sell it for 1 coin. I am gonna sell it for 1 coin, and then I'm gonna use that to continue working on upgrading my hatchet, which I've been working on in previous turns. So we're gonna do that, which is great. We are getting closer to upgrading that hatchet. If I'm able to upgrade that hatchet, I will get 1 more action every time I take a chopping task, which I bet we will do next turn. Speaking of next turn, that's it. That's a whole round of 10. I used 2 task cards. We're going to the next round. Between each round, we tick up all the dice on our farm. We've got 2 plants rocking here. So I'm gonna tick this one up and tick this one up. And both of these are showing white, which means we get those crops. This one also shows an X, so as soon as we use it, we're actually gonna take this crop off our board. We're gonna have to plant it again if we want to see it again, if we wanna get that resource again. Let's use our pineapple first, folks, because this is great, because I get to give it to my neighbor. Now, I don't have a neighbor. If I was playing with other people, I would literally give this to my neighbor. But in a solo game, which, playing by myself right now, these actually convert to points at the end of the game. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna give this to my fictional neighbor. Really, I just discard it. And then I cross off the next thing on this track, giving me a neighbor reward for being a good neighbor, which we should all be. So I got this, this red blueprint, and the blueprints are wonderful because they help us upgrade our tools. Almost all of the upgrades require blueprints, so I'm gonna cross that off. I am just 1 blueprint away from upgrading my hatchet. And that'll be really exciting because I will be able to do 2 actions the next time I take a chopping task. So, we have one more plant to deal with. This is a pink plant. What do I want to do with this? It sells for 3 gold, which is nice, but I think I'm gonna load it up in my cargo manifest once again. I look over here on my chart, it's got 3. I'm gonna grab my little stamper again and find a good spot for it. We're going vertical this time, folks. We're gonna go up, boop, and boop. All right, and that'll let me 6 points at the end of the game. Not too shabby. So this comes off because there was an X, and my pineapple will keep on ticking at the beginning of the next turn. I'll also get these neighbor cards back. I'll draw 2 between turns and pick 1 for next round. But for now, I gave that one to my neighbor, so that's great. Let's move on to our next turn. I think that it just might be time to go fishing. So there's this fishing card. I'm gonna choose that to do the fishing task. I, like all other tasks, get 1 fishing action to start the game. I also have a fishing upgrade. So normally when I roll these dice, which I'm gonna do, I'm going fishing in the pond here. I'm gonna roll these dice. This is nice. So I got a 5 and a wild. What does this mean? Well, the 5 will line up here on the column, so I am getting a fish in the 5th column. And then normally, if I wasn't so lucky, I would have rolled, like, let's say a 2. That would line up to this row, and I would be right there. I would get that fish. But because I got a wild, I can choose any of these, which is quite nice. The other thing to note is I have this fishing upgrade unlocked already from a previous turn. Normally, I would just get the fish that the crosshairs aligned on, but I can actually choose any fish in this crosser. So I'm actually gonna take this red fish because I'm gonna use my wild to line up here on this 1 and this 5, and then I get to choose from anything within this shape centered on the square that I rolled. And I'm gonna take this red fish because I know that this red fish is very good. I can either sell it for 3 gold or I can put it in my cargo manifest for 3 blue. I think that let's see, let's sell it because I would like to work on an energy bar. So I'm gonna do that. It sells for 3 gold, which gets me an entire energy bar. So I'm gonna dump 3 of those into an energy bar and I'm gonna circle this. We'll come back to that because I'm gonna use that on my next task. All right, let's choose another task card, shall we? What do we have to work with here? I always like to look and see what kind of task cards have an upgrade that I can get. And you know what? I've got this one. I have an upgraded rod, and so I will be able to get this blueprint at the bottom here if I take this action. So we're gonna use this Skilled Apprentice card we're gonna go chopping in the woods. It's the last of the task types we haven't done yet. This is very, very similar to mining. We just scratch off a square in the top of the woods. I only have 1 action to work with, so I just chop off 1 of these squares. Where do we wanna go? I'm gonna start here at the top again. I could go here to go deeper, but I'm gonna see what there is up here. See what we get. Ooh, I like this. Okay, so I got a wood. Wood can be used for many different things. We're gonna dump this wood into a badge. So we haven't really talked about badges yet, but badges, they can score you points at the end of the game if you're able to unlock 3 of their rows. The other thing that they do is they give you these medals. The medals are the purple stuff that you load into your cargo manifest. They can fill up a lot of space. They're very valuable. So we're gonna start working on this basic woods badge. We're gonna use this wood that we discovered and just cross that off. Once we cross off all 3, we would get that medal and we would be able to load that in. If we got 2 rows, we would get the 5 victory points, zenith points at the end of the game. All right, another thing happened. We got an upgrade. We leveled up our chopping skills because of this purple background on this square that we uncovered. That is great because I'm already at level 2. Now we're at level 3. Cross that off. I got a wood. I think you know where we're gonna put that. We're gonna dump that into our basic woods badge. Keep making progress there. So that's nice. But it's not over. We're coming back to that energy bar that we talked about. We get 2 uses per energy bar. What do those do? They just give us another action inside the task that we're currently performing. So I'm gonna cross off one of these uses and we're going back to the woods, folks. We're going back. Maybe we can get another, oh, we got another wood. We got another wood. That is great because we're coming back over here. We're finishing this row of our basic woods badge. We're gonna box that. I like to box it. You can do whatever you want. What are we gonna do with this medal? Well, we're gonna come out to our corporate commissary. We could either sell it for 3 gold or we could put it in our cargo manifest. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take this purple stamper and it's a 2 shape. So I'm gonna put 2 of those right next to each other. Look at that, we're filling up that cargo manifest. We're filling it up, we're making progress. And don't forget, we've got the bonus half of this card to do where we get this purple blueprint. You know what that does for us, folks? That finishes up our hatchet upgrade. Love to see it because next time we go chopping, we'll be able to chop twice in the top because each chop in the top half requires 1 action. Or when we get down there, we'll be able to actually chop in the bottom half, which takes 2 actions to chop in. That's Tend. We just did 2 rounds of Tend. You know, there's lots more stuff in here, but you kind of get the flow of it, right? You choose 2 task cards, you do their actions, you use any of the resources that you have, and hopefully load some stuff into your cargo manifest, unlock some badges. We got a full how to play video. We've got a solo video coming your way. And of course, Tend is dropping on Kickstarter on October 29th. We would love to see you there. Yeah, I'm really excited. Thanks for watching, everybody.